Good morning students. Today we will continue with the chapter carbon and its compounds. Last lecture we have studied about the different properties of the carbon and different elements that forming the covalent bond. Now we will study what is carbon and what are the special features of the carbon. That's why the most compounds on this earth that are made up of carbon. So first property is that is the allotropes. Allotropes. Allotropes is the property of the carbon in which carbon have the carbon compounds having the same chemical properties but different physical properties. Because chemically they are made up of all of carbon, and they are the three allotropes of the carbon which are very famous, that is graphite, diamond and fullerene. This is the structure of diamond. Diamond in which each carbon that is bonded from four sides by the other atoms of the carbon, while in graphite one carbon that is bonded three sides by the three carbon and one of the bond is double bond, so it gives three dimensional structure. While here the structure is hexagonal rings. These rings they make some sheet-like appearance. So the sheets of the hexagonal ring, these rings are present, and these sheets they can slide over each other. Because of this, the graphite is soft and slippery. This one is graphite, which is soft and slippery, while diamond is a very hard structure, as its all carbons are bounded by on its four sides, while in the graphite there is only three sides are occupied. That's why diamond that is non-conductive, while graphite that can conduct electricity. That's why diamond and graphite both have different physical properties. Now there is another allotrope. This one. This is the fullerene. Fullerene is also a class of a group of carbon allotropes. This fullerene have football-like structure. It was first identified by the Buckminster Fuller. On the discoverer, on the name of the discoverer, the structure of this was named as fullerene. So there are mainly three isotopes. One that is diamond, second that is graphite, and third one that is fullerene. So this is the allotropic reactor of the carbon, having different number of the compounds and a large number of the compounds having same chemical property and the different physical properties that give a special character to the carbon. Now we will talk about Why carbon has so many compounds on this earth? There's a many two reasons. There are two properties of the carbon that give the reason of this question. Now, first property is that is tetravalency. Tetravalency means in our last lecture we already studied that tetravalency means carbon has the valency of 4. Means it can bound by 4 different atoms, monovalent ions, so that it can form on its 4 sides, it can combine with the other atoms. It can combine with hydrogen, nitrogen, chlorine, oxygen, sulfur and more. That's why it has a large number of compounds, and these all compounds with the different elements have the different properties. Second property is catenation. कैटेनेशन प्रॉपर्टी क्या होती है? कैटेनेशन प्रॉपर्टी में कार्बन जो है अपने ही कार्बन के साथ दूसरे एटम कार्बन के साथ बॉन्ड बना सकता है। ये प्रॉपर्टी इसकी एक स्पेशल फीचर है कि कार्बन जो है अपने जैसे अदर कार्बन एटम के साथ ही बॉन्ड बना के एक लॉन्ग चेन बना सकता है। मीन्स कैटेनेशन इज द एबिलिटी ऑफ कार्बन bond with other carbon atoms and can make long chains. These two properties are the main reasons why that carbon makes a large number of the compounds. On the basis of catenation property, carbon can be categorized as saturated and unsaturated one. Saturated and unsaturated compounds. Saturated and unsaturated compounds, they are categorized on the basis of the number of covalent bonds present between the carbon atoms. So, in saturated compounds, in between carbon-carbon atoms, single bond is present. While in unsaturated, between carbon-carbon atoms, 2 or 3 bonds can be present between the different carbon atoms to complete the valency rules or its complete valency of the 8. So, saturated compounds, they are called alkanes. While in unsaturated compounds, the carbon-carbon compound having double bond, they are called alkenes. And which have 3 bonds, triple bond, they are called alkynes. are saturated compounds, alkenes and alkynes are unsaturated compounds. मतलब alkanes जिनमें कार्बन कार्बन के बीच में एक ही बॉन्ड होगा तो उन्हें हम बोलते हैं सैचुरेटेड कंपाउंड्स, मीन संतृप्त कार्बन कंपाउंड. और जो हमारे डबल और ट्रिपल बॉन्ड वाले कंपाउंड हैं जिनमें कार्बन कार्बन के बीच में 2 या 3 आबंध हैं तो उन्हें हम बोलते हैं अनसैचुरेटेड कंपाउंड्स, मतलब असंतृप्त हाइड्रोकार्बन्स. These all compounds that are made up of hydrogen and carbon. That's why they are called hydrocarbons. As we were studying the different structure of these compounds, first of all, the simplest one is our alkane. We will study first. The simplest alkane is methane. Methane, in which single carbon atom is present with its single bonds with the hydrogen atom. So, methane have the formula CH4. As you can see, carbon has 4 electrons which he shares with the other atom, and one hydrogen has 1 electron which he shares. Now, if you see the formation of bond between C and H, one carbon can share its 1 electron with 1 hydrogen. But here 3 are left. Now, this electron is shared with the other hydrogen, and this electron is shared with other hydrogen. In the same way, this electron is shared with this atom. Now you can see one carbon can bond with 4 hydrogen atoms, and these bonds, as we have seen in our last lecture, these electrons that combine to make a bond. So there are 4 bonds formed. This is the formula of methane. So it makes the formula CH4. Now you have to learn meth. Means 1 carbon. Ane means single bond. So here the formula become methane CH4. Now we can further elaborate it with second compound, that is ethane. अगर हम इथेन का फॉर्मूला करें, यहाँ पर इथ का मतलब होता है 2 कार्बन और एन हमने पहले ही कहा सिंगल बॉन्ड. सो इट मीन्स 2 कार्बन and एन मीन्स सिंगल बॉन्ड. This single bond represents the bond between carbon and carbon. So there are the 2 carbons having single bond. Now you have to fulfill the valency rule. Now this bond is formed by sharing 1 electron of both. How about their other electrons? Now there are 3 electrons of each carbon is free, and they make bond with the other hydrogen with their electron. Each hydrogen has single electron. हर हाइड्रोजन के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन होगा, और यहाँ पर इस डायग्राम में कार्बन ने एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आपस में बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए यूज कर लिया, जबकि बाकी 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्री हैं जो वो बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए यूज करते हैं हाइड्रोजन के साथ. नाउ दीज बॉन्ड्स आर फॉर्म्ड. सो इन दिस वे फॉर्मूला जो है हमारा वो बन जाएगा C2 and H1 2 3 4 5 6. So formula is C2H6. Now our formula C2H6 represents ethane because it has 2 carbon and ane is having single bond between 2 carbons. In the same way you can further make a compound with the 3 carbon. Means अगर 3 कार्बन के कंपाउंड 3 कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल होंगे हमारे पास एटम, तो वो क्या फॉर्मूला बनाएगा. जहाँ पे 3 कार्बन होते हैं उसके लिए हम वर्ड यूज करते हैं प्रो, और सिंगल बॉन्ड के लिए हमें पता है एन. सो आवर थर्ड कंपाउंड इज प्रोपेन. व्हाट विल बी द फॉर्मूला ऑफ प्रोपेन? कार्बन हैं जिनके हर किसी के पास 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन शेयरिंग के लिए होते हैं, और इन 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन में से वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आपस में बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए यूज कर लेता है इन दिस वे। नाउ जो इलेक्ट्रॉन जिनके फ्री रह गए हैं उनके लिए वो हाइड्रोजन के साथ बॉन्ड बनाता है। हर हाइड्रोजन के पास एक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन होगा एंड दे मेक बॉन्ड विथ वन कार्बन इलेक्ट्रॉन। So here you can see the formula C3 and H 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 C3H8. So propane represent the formula C3H8. In the same way, you can make compounds with the more carbons like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For that, I am writing the counting. That is, if carbon is 4, then our compound will be but. Single bond A. So formula will be butane. Fifth carbon, this carbon is 5, it is called pent, and they have a single bond, then it is called A, and name is pentane. For 6, if carbon is 6, then it is called hex, and single bond is called A. The name is hexane. If carbon is 8, it is written as O. Single bond means A, which makes octane. Now you can further increase the number of the carbons and the different compounds, but we can directly also formulate these compounds by the formula CnH2n plus 2. This formula is for all alkanes. In this formula, N means number of carbons. So by putting only the value of number of carbons, is it 1, 2, 3, or to 8, 7, then you can find out the formula of alkanes. Like if we have carbon 4, then formula name is butane, and formula will be C, N is 4, H 2, 2N means 2 multiplied by 4 plus 2. So our butane formula is C4, H 4 to the 8 plus 2, 10. C4H10, that will be the formula of butane. In the same way, you can find out the formula. इस तरीके से आप किसी भी कार्बन कंपाउंड का जिनमें सिंगल बॉन्ड होगा उनके नाम के साथ उनका फॉर्मूला आप फाइंड आउट कर सकते हो. सिंपल बाय दिस यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला CnH2n plus 2. You can we can do it for intermediate compound anyone. Like अगर हमारे पास कार्बन 6 है तो हमारा फॉर्मूला क्या बनेगा और नाम क्या होगा. जैसा कि हमें पता है नाम हमने ऊपर ही पढ़ा अभी हेक्सेन, तो हमारा फॉर्मूला क्या होगा C6H2 multiplied by 6 plus 2 is equal to C6, 6 to the 12 plus 2 is equal to 14, H14. So this is the formula of our hexane. So these are the different alkanes. You will study it by this video and try to understand the concept of carbon and its compounds with alkanes. Thank you.